Yeah, I got a close friend. He's like my brother, man. And right now he's substitute teaching. And we were laughing the other day about names with apostrophes. And he sent me a list of the names of the kids that are in the classes that he got, all with apostrophes. Apostrophes. Let me read them to you: Zykira, Demia, Zaquan, Kanaz, Kion. I actually knew a kid I went to school with named Kion. Demir, Navaje, Tania, Quanasia, Sakai, Jaques, Deanna, Omia, Najir, Lawan. Now, what do you think you're going to get out of life with a name like that? I mean, okay, I'll give it to you. My first name is James. So I had somebody to identify with when I was little. Let's say, in no random order: James Brown, James Bond, Jim Brown, James, James Best. Motherfucker, Roscoe Pico Train. Look his name up. It's James Best. That's his name. Who else? Jimmy Carter. I'll give you a quick story. You know how when you're in kindergarten, they put you in a circle and you talk about what you did this weekend and that kind of stuff? When Jimmy Carter was running for president, no, not Jimmy Carter running for president. When Ronald Reagan was opposing Jimmy Carter for the presidency in 1980, we were sitting in a circle and they told us about the presidency, told us about how Reagan used to be an actor. I can't remember what else they told us. But I remember when it was all said and done, it's 1980. I'm 6 years old. When it was all said and done, I raised my hand and I say, I hope Jimmy wins. And the whole class started laughing. So I did show a little bit of humor way back then. But the point I'm making is kids need somebody to identify with. So when you got a name like that, I refer to the cat Kion. Okay, he went to jail for dope. That when you got a name like that, you can only identify with drug dealers, guys that drop out of school at 16 before they get their girlfriend pregnant, before they actually go to prison. That's it. Or you got them athletes, Le'Veon Bell, Demarius Thomas. Who else got a dumbass name? Oh, Cordero Patterson. That's why a lot of these kids, I wouldn't be surprised if that's why a lot of these kids think they can really only make it in the NFL for real. Because that's the only time they see somebody with them fucked up names actually doing something. You ain't gonna see too many CEOs named K-Nas. You just ain't gonna see that. I wouldn't be surprised if those resumes were used for toilet paper or to line the bottom of somebody's cat cage at home, but they didn't make it across human resources desk. No, because people, there's so much into a person with a name like that. I call them niggerfied names. One of them names, the people who raised you or who birthed you and all that, they couldn't have been thinking that you would need a job one day. My parents gave me the name James because they knew I would need a job someday. And that way the person looking at the resume would not be able to tell I was a nigga until I showed up at the interview. Maybe if you heard my voice on the phone when he called me to bring me in. Yeah, that's probably the first time they'll know about it. Excuse me. But yeah, kids really do need that. Black kids especially. I mean, it's crazy how we think we're going to get anywhere with names that people can't pronounce. And then these kids, they don't admit it, but some of them are embarrassed when people say their name wrong. And, I did substitute teaching for a while too. And I used to fuck those names up on purpose. Like, getting back to them kids with them names. They act crazy. Whenever I see, like I said yesterday in the video about the woman who was educated and is now a congressman, but still with a name like that, I'm sure they was like, yo, what the fuck you doing here? You change that shit. But there's really no remedy. Once you got a fucked up name, you got a fucked up name. But don't go naming your kids no fucked up shit, especially if you got a boy. Don't be naming him some shit that he can't be picked out of a crowd. Whatever happened to traditional names like John, Michael, any disciple name, Thomas, Peter, any type of name like that, an old English name or something. You know, people can't identify your race through your fucking name, man. What's in the name? A whole lot of shit, dog. But for real. And then getting back to the way the kids behave with these names, my buddy's smart, man. He can be a math teacher. He got a degree in accounting. So I said, you didn't think about taking a test and then you have a job, because he's holding out for an IT job. So it's like, all right, why don't you just, take the test? They've asked him to come. They want him. They're going to usher him in there. He's too smart to fuck with them kids, man. Them kids, it's not worth it getting into academia unless you got a real passion and you don't mind going out to teach at one of them suburban schools. Because if you go out to one of them nigga schools, you're going to be pissed. You don't want to walk right the fuck up out of there. You know what? I changed my mind about going into academia. If you're a black man with masculine energy, don't go nowhere near that shit. They'll eat you alive the first time you do something to show that you're masculine. They don't want that anywhere. You got to know that black heterosexual male is public enemy number one. And to be honest with you, the black homosexual male is probably pedestalized and put in the front of the LGBT struggle. They want the world, the face of the world, to see a black man as homosexuality, as being a gay guy. That's what they want. That's what they want the face of homosexuality to be. So if you got black masculine energy, they don't want you working at a school. I know a girl whose brother's gay and he's a principal, and he gets all types of opportunities, and he's biracial too. So you got a biracial homosexual running a school. I mean, he's bisexual to the point where he's going to gay pride parades and he's dressing up and all that stuff. I seen some pictures of it and it made me sick. I'm so glad that me and that girl didn't work out. First of all, she had 2 kids. And second, after that, she got a gay brother. I could only tolerate that shit for as long as I was tolerating the girl. And now that I'm not dealing with her, I could care less about him or her kids.